My students, today our topic is polynomial. Okay, introduction to polynomial. Actually, a polynomial is an expression made with constants, variables, and exponents. Okay, what are the exponents, constants, and variables? Okay, 1, 2, 3, that has the value are all known as the constants. X, Y, B, A, all these unknown number are known as the variables. And we know what are the exponents. Exponents means, suppose I am writing x to the power 2, so it is known as the base and it is known as the exponent. Okay, so a polynomial is an expression made with constants, variables, and exponents which are combined using addition, subtraction, and multiplication, but not division. You have to keep in mind, but not division. Okay, the exponents can only be 0, 1, 2, 3 as many, and it cannot have infinite number of terms. Okay, so now we are looking about the terms and the conditions. So look at the examples. Expression is 5 x y square minus 3x plus 5 y cube minus 3. Okay, as shown here. So here these are known as the terms. Okay, 5x y square, 3x, 5y to the power 3, and 3. Okay, so all these are combined, that means all the terms are combined using addition here and subtraction here. Okay, and exponents, you can see that exponents are there. 5x y to the power 2, here base is y and exponent is 2. Okay, so these are known as the terms, and all the terms are combined using addition, subtraction, and multiplication, but not division. Okay, so it looks like the polynomial because it holds all the properties of the polynomial. Okay, so here 3 is the constant. Okay, and x, y are known as the variables here. So it is a basic example of a polynomial. But if I write 3x y to the power minus 2, is it polynomial? No. Why? Because the exponent is y to the power minus 2. Here the condition is the exponents can only be 0, 1, 2, 3 in the positive. Okay, and again if we write 2 by x plus 2, is it a polynomial? No, because we know terms are combined using only addition, subtraction, and multiplication, but not division. Got it? So we got all the examples. This is polynomial, this is not polynomial. Okay, go to the next. Now on the basis of number of terms, we can divide the polynomial into 5 categories. Number 1 is monomial. Okay, so if I take the example for monomial, that is 5y square, it is the example of monomial. Why? Because it has only one term. Okay, understand? And it is the product of a number and a variable. We know y is the variable and 5 is the number, or you can say that constant. So here it is a number, so it is a product of a number or number and variable. So this is known as the monomial. So when we will have only one term in polynomial, then it is known as the monomial. Okay, the next term is binomial. So if I write 25 x to the power 3 plus 2, it is known as the binomial. Why? Because here we will have two terms. One is 25x cube, another one is 2. Okay, if I write 8x plus 6, here also we will have two terms. One is 8x, another one is 6. So 6 here is constant. Okay, so 6 is known as the term, and 8x also is known as the term. So these two terms are combined using the addition sign. So all these are the examples of binomial. Okay, next is trinomial. So when we will call it as a trinomial, when the polynomial has only three terms. Suppose 2x square plus 5x plus 6. So here one term is 2x square, another time is 5x, another term is 6. Okay, so all these terms are combined together with the addition sign, so it is known as the trinomial. Okay, so all these examples of trinomials are there, you can see it. Okay, next is constant polynomial. So what is known as the constant polynomial? If in the polynomial there is only the constant, then it is known as the constant polynomial. So if I write 45, so it is known as the constant polynomial. If we write minus 75, it is known as the constant polynomial. Okay, next part is polynomial. So if the expression contains more than three terms, then the expression is called as a polynomial. Okay, suppose I am writing one, that is 17y cube 54 17y cube plus 54y square plus 8y plus 36. Okay, so this is an expression. So here in this expression it contains more than three terms. Here is the first term 17y cube, next term is 54y square, next term is 8y, and the last term is 36. So the expression is known as the polynomial when it has the terms more than 3. Okay, I think it is clear. Okay, go to the next slide. Now all these are the categories on the basis of degree. So polynomials can be categorized on the basis of degree. Okay, look one by one. The first category is linear polynomial. Which polynomial is known as the linear polynomial? I am taking one example, suppose 3x. Okay, so what is the degree of this polynomial? The degree of the polynomial means what is the exponent of variable. It is the variable here. Okay, so no other variable is present there. So what is the power? 1. So if the power of any variable is 1, so if the degree of a polynomial is 1, then it is known as the linear polynomial. Okay, so here it is the exponent is 1 for variable x, so it is known as the linear polynomial. So if I write 4y, so it is also an example of linear polynomial. Okay, next is quadratic polynomial. So if the expression is x square plus 5, okay, so here the exponent of variable x is 2, that means the highest degree of the polynomial is 2. So if the degree of the polynomial is 2, then it is known as the quadratic polynomial. So x square plus y is an example of quadratic polynomial. Okay, if I write y square minus 3, so it is also an example of quadratic polynomial, as the power or the exponent of the variable is 2. The next polynomial is cubic polynomial. Same as before, if the polynomial has degree 3, then it is known as the cubic polynomial, like this example. So here the highest exponent or the power of the variable is 3, that means it has the degree 3. So this polynomial is known as the cubic polynomial. Okay, so if I write another one, you can say that 4x cube 3x square plus 2x plus 1. So it is also an example of cubic polynomial. Okay, now the last type is biquadratic polynomial. Okay, so in any expression, if the power of any variable is 4 greater than 3, then it is known as the biquadratic polynomial. Like this example, 3 to x to the power 4 minus x to the power 3 plus x to the power 2 plus 5x minus 7. Okay, so highest power or exponent of the variable x is here 4. So it is known as the biquadratic polynomial. So already we have learned about the types of polynomials on the basis of degree and on the basis of terms. Okay, I think it is clear to you. Okay, go to the next slide. Now in this lesson we will learn about the zeros. Okay, so here is the relation between zeros and coefficient of a polynomial. Okay, so basically we have to learn about the coefficient and zeros. So first look at the zeros. What is zeros? The roots of a polynomial are those values of the variable that cause the polynomial to evaluate to 0. Now the point is, already we have told that the roots of a polynomial are those values, or the zeros of a polynomial are those values of the variable that cause the polynomial to evaluate to 0. Okay, so we are taking one example, simple example, that is, suppose I am writing 3x square minus 27. Okay, so we are trying to find out what value or values of x will make it come out to 0. To do this, we set the polynomial to 0 in the form of an equation. So we are writing 3x square minus 27 equal to 0. Okay, so if we write this equation, then obviously we know we have to transpose this value on the right side. Ultimately we get 3x square equal to 27. So x square will be equal to 27 by 3, that means 9. So basically we got x square equal to 9. Okay, so x will be plus minus 3. Why? Because next line will be x equal to root over 9. So if we put root over 9, then it gives us plus minus 3. So basically we got that x is equal to plus 3, and also you can say that x is equal to minus 3. Okay, so already we got two values of x, that means variable, that is, one is plus 3, another one is minus 3. So if we put this value on this expression, on which expression? Already we have taken 3x square minus 27. Okay, then if we get the result 0, that means all these values of x are the roots or zeros of this expression. Okay, so here we got x is equal to plus minus 3. So if we put this value into the equation, so what was the equation? 3x square equal equation was 3x square minus 27. Okay, so what are the values of x? The value of x, one value of x is plus 3, another one is minus 3. So expression was 3x square minus 27. Okay, so if we put the value of x here and we get 0 as a result, then we can say that all these values of x are the roots or the zeros of this expression. So put the value. So if we put the value plus 3 first in x, we will get 3 and then plus 3 square minus 27. So it is 3 outside and inside the bracket 9 and 27. Okay, so 3 into 9 means 27. So it gives us 27 minus 27, that means 0. So x is equal to plus 3 is a root or 0 of this expression or polynomial. Okay, got it? If we write minus 3, so the expression is 3x square minus 27. If we put another value of x, that is minus 3 and square, then 27, we will have 3 outside the bracket and inside the bracket it is 9 minus 3 square, that gives us 9, because minus 3 into minus 3 minus minus plus 3 into 3 9, and here 27. So again it gives us 27 minus 27, that is 0. So already we have put the value of x, that is one time is x is equal to plus x plus 3 and another minus 3, and we got the result 0. So we can say that in the expression 3x square minus 27, in this polynomial the zeros or roots are x equal to plus 3 and minus 3. Clear concept? I think it is clear to you. Okay, so now we will be learning about the relationship between zeros and the coefficient of a polynomial. At first we will be learning all the formulas, then later on we will be discussing using the examples. So if the zeros are alpha beta, in the previous example we have taken x is equal to minus 3 and plus 3, so we can say that if two zeros, that means we are giving them the name alpha and beta. So alpha and beta are the zeros or roots of the x polynomial expression, that is px equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Then we can say that for sum of roots will be minus b by a. Okay, so the expression was ax square plus bx plus c. So in this expression, if alpha and beta are the zeros of this expression, then you can write that the sum of zeros, that means alpha plus beta, will be minus b by a. That means b is the coefficient of x. B is the coefficient of x. We know what is the coefficient of coefficient. So coefficient means the number that resides before the variable. So here it is b. So alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a. So we can write that alpha plus beta means minus of coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. So coefficient of x here is b, we have to put sign minus here because minus is present here, and by the coefficient of x square. So what is the coefficient of x square in this expression? That is a. So we have to write minus b by a. Got that formula? Okay, and next is product of roots. So for product of roots, the formula is alpha into beta because we know these are the zeros. So the formula of product of roots is c by a, and we know the expression ax square plus bx plus c. So to find out the product of the roots, we have to look at the c. Okay, because it is the constant term. So alpha into beta equal to c by a. So we have to write the formula c here and below a. A here is the coefficient of x square. So the sum of root is minus b by a and product of roots is c by a. I think it is clear to you. Okay, go to the next slide. Okay, now if in an expression when the degree will be 3, then we will have 3 zeros. Okay, in the previous example the degree was 2, then we will have 2 roots alpha and beta or zeros. When the degree is 3, we will have 3 roots. So already we have alpha beta and another one will be gamma. Okay, so for this expression same thing, the roots will be alpha, beta, gamma, because we need 3 roots or the zeros. So here the sum of roots will be alpha plus beta plus gamma, and also the formula of sum of roots equal to minus b by a. Here minus b means minus and then coefficient of x square, here is the b, and below in denominator it will be the coefficient of x cube, that is a here. Okay, so the formula for this expression will be alpha plus beta plus gamma sum of roots equal to coefficient minus of coefficient of x square by coefficient of x cube, that means minus b by a. And if we sum the product of roots, then it will be alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma equal to c by a. C means the coefficient of x, here coefficient of x is c, and in denominator it will be coefficient of x cube, that means a. So definitely it gives us c by a. Okay, so this is the sum of product of roots. And if we find out product of roots in this expression, then it will be minus d by a. Okay, so roots was alpha beta gamma, so product of roots means alpha beta gamma equal to minus d by a. So d here is the constant term, here also here, and in denominator a is the coefficient of x cube. So the formula of alpha beta gamma, that means product of roots, is minus d by a. Okay, okay, next slide. So if alpha beta are roots of a quadratic polynomial px equal to px, then we can write px equal to x square minus alpha plus beta and then x and then alpha beta. Okay, got it? So we can make the equation like that way. So if you have the roots, so we can make the expression, just put the value here alpha plus beta and here alpha into beta, and we can make the expression for quadratic equation. And for polynomial when the degree is 3, also the same thing, px equal to x3 minus alpha plus beta plus gamma and outside the bracket x square, and then plus the sum of the products of the roots, then multiplied by x here, and then minus the product of roots. Okay, so you get the expression x cube, then sum of zeros, then here sum of products of zeros with x, and then at last product of zeros or roots. Okay, already we have learned about all the formulas. Okay, so look it very carefully. Next we will have the examples. Okay, now we will be looking at the graph of the polynomial. Okay, sorry, now we will be looking at the graph of the polynomial. We know what is polynomial. Okay, so the first one is graph of the linear polynomial. So if the expression is ax plus b, then as it has the power 1, so it is the known as the linear polynomial. So the graph of the linear polynomial always will be the straight line. If the polynomial will be the ax square plus bx plus 3, that means quadratic polynomial, then it looks like the parabola. Okay, if the polynomial is the quadratic polynomial, then it will be parabola if a greater than 0. Okay, open downwards. So graph of a quadratic polynomial, when the expression is ax square plus bx plus 3, will be parabola open outwards like this graph when a greater than 0. Okay, here the coefficient of x square, that means a greater than 0, and if the coefficient of x square, that means a less than 0, then the graph will be the parabola open downwards like this graph. Okay, and the last one is, in general, a polynomial px of degree n crosses the x-axis at most n points. Okay, because number of degrees n, so it will cross the x-axis at most endpoints. Okay, take the example. So look at the graph very carefully. For the first graph, the zeros is 0 because the graph is parallel to x-axis. Okay, it does not cut it at any point. Okay, next, in the given graph, this graph, second graph, the number of zeros of px is 1 because the graph intersects the x-axis at only one point. Okay, at one point, that is here. Okay, number 3, in the given graph, the number of zeros of px is 3 because the graph intersects the x-axis at 3 point. Here it is 1, here it is 2, and here it is 3. Okay, next 4, in this graph, the number of zeros of px, the expression is 2 because the graph intersects the x-axis at 2 points. Here it is, here it is. Okay, number 5, in this graph, the number of zeros, that means for the expression px, is 4 because the graph intersects the x-axis at 4 points. One is here, another one is here, another one is here, another one is here. Okay, so the number of zeros will depend when the graph intersects the x-axis at the points. So if the points, cutting points or intersecting points are 4, then the zeros will be 4. If the points is 2, then the zeros will be 2. For 3, it will be, or zeros will be 3. Okay, and last, in the last graph, for this graph, the number of zeros of px, that means expression, is 3 because the graph intersects the x-axis at 3 points. Here it is, here it is, here it is. So the zeros of any polynomial depends on the intersecting point on x-axis. Got it? I think it is clear to you. Okay, thank you.